Eagles, Buccaneers. Eagles are already traveling to Tampa right now to deal with the hot, blazing heat over there. And we are going to kind of go over the matches, what the Eagles have to do to kind of get Todd Bowles' defense off their back. It's going to be intense. It's going to be a crazy game on Sunday. We're going to talk about all the injury report, which is actually really good. And we're going to talk about that. So let's get into it.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope it's on a fantastic day today. So, big matchup on Sunday. We have a lot to go over here regarding some of the key matchups. Obviously, Todd Bowles, his defense, the Eagles being 1-4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the first thing I kind of want to go over is the injury report for the Eagles. It actually looks really good for this week. Now, the only bad thing, obviously, or maybe it isn't a bad thing because the position is bad itself already. Adoree Jackson with a groin injury. He had a light practice, so he's trending in the right direction. Probably will be back week 5, depending on what they're doing at corner. If Keely Ringo goes out and plays really well, that's what I'm hoping, and just plays better in general. No Jacorian Bennett, so Adoree Jackson is doubtful for this game on Sunday, but a huge positive. You get Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond back. They had full practices before they left for Tampa. Lane Johnson has been a full practice all week, so that's great. He'll have that big matchup against Hassan Reddick on the defensive line. Tanner McKee, full practice, so his thumb is getting a lot better. So fully getting your backup quarterback back. And Will Shipley has had a pretty good had some good practices this week. He'll be fully back, hopefully as the number 2 back. Thing with the Tank Bigsby move, because this oblique injury, whatever this injury was with Shipley, he was supposed to be out like 6+ weeks. And I'm guessing that didn't happen. You gave up 2 picks for Tank, and you have him on special teams. He's not doing good, and then you have him back as a number 2 back that I thought he was going to be for this team while Shipley was out. But I don't know what the role of Tank Bigsby really is. I guess just a depth move at this point. But, okay, we're going to be getting into Eagles Buccaneers, okay? You got to start this game quick, and you have to start with the long ball going downfield. I do not care. You have got to make Todd Bowles' defense worry about the deep pass, okay? You have to pass over 6 yards in this game. I don't think the play calling is going to be fixed this week. I think the second half of that Rams game is going to be something to build on, but you have got to let that secondary to Todd Bowles' defense have a chance to move their guys back, because they need to worry about some of these passes. I'm talking passes over 6 yards, because you couldn't do that in the first half last week against the Rams. Everybody was in the box. Nobody was afraid of anything, because you didn't give them anything to worry about in that first half of that Rams game. Like I said, the Eagles are 1-4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Todd Bowles, his blitz rate against the Eagles is 70%. I mean, that's ridiculous. But now the Eagles are coming in healthy into this game. Unlike last year, when you lost Devontae Smith, you lost A.J. Brown. We literally got scored on 21-0 the first 3 drives. Okay, so that was just a bad game in general, a really bad start where you dug yourself a really big hole after, injuries. There's got to be a check down in the store, a hot route being there, middle of the field, intermediate throws. I mean, we need it all for this game. We're going to see how Tampa Bay defends Saquon Barkley in this game. And running up the middle is probably not going to be the smartest thing to do this week. And if you keep doing this, it's just going to keep happening, hitting a brick wall over and over again with Vita Vea being in that middle. It anchors that defensive line as a whole, and it's not a bad defensive line. It's very good defense over there with Todd Bowles. So got to run Saquon Barkley off tackle, some outside pitches. I mean, something to the outside, and you can't make it obvious. Obviously, some of the matchups, A.J. Brown, McCollum on one side, which isn't a bad, matchup, but you could need your tight end this week. Probably going to need Devontae Smith this week. Maybe, you're going to need Jahan Dotson, so I don't know if this is going to be another A.J. Brown game, but you could definitely get him involved. You could dig yourself a hole like you did down 19 points after the first half, but you can't do this against this team. You can't do that every single week, and they really have to be careful on looking predictable, because Todd Bowles is going to smell it, and then he's just going to blitz every single time. Spread your offense out so you can spread that defense out as well. It's another problem I've had with the Eagles offensively, where they're just making things too easy for a defense when you're bunched up too close and you really can't get the separation. Use the field to your advantage in this game. Offensively, you're going to this game pretty healthy. We're obviously going to need Hurts's feet just a little bit in this game, and obviously some read options, run some play action from under center, make them bite on Saquon Barkley. But to make them bite, you got to get this passing game going first, and then we can start heading in that run and then Tampa Bay will start to, not timely get their pass rush on. Looking for the ultimate way to test your sports knowledge, ProfitX puts you in the action with peer-to-peer sports prediction market. Play against your friends and fellow fans, not the house. With the best lines in the space available in over 40 states, ProfitX makes predicting games more exciting than ever. Don't just watch the game, dominate with ProfitX. Now we're going to go over the Eagles versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another big NFC matchup this Sunday, 1 o'clock, and we're going to be going to the total points, 43.5. Do I take the over or under? And honestly, I think both of these teams will score more than 21, 22 points in this game. I think I'm going to take the over on this. It's going to be a high-scoring game. The Eagles offense is going to be back, and the Buccaneers are going to play it tough, so that's what the decision I've made on it for this #1 sports book. Use promo code SHAKE72. You can get up to $200 cash back over your first 30 days. Every play you make, ProfitX gives you money back for playing on their platform. Up to $200. I repeat, use SHAKE72 for the #1 ultimate sports book. As for the defensive side of the ball, you got to look at Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position because he can get out of the pocket. He could pretty much make any type of move on you, and he plays really tough, okay? You cannot just run some body tackles on him. You have got to tackle really well this week, and since you don't have Nolan Smith for this defensive line now for the next 4 weeks, this defensive line has to rise to the occasion now. Okay, obviously, Zadarius Smith is going to have a more immediate, bigger role, and we'll have to go in there and do some things. Jalen Carter hopefully will get better this week and get him under his own feet a little bit more. Jordan Davis, waiting to see another great game from him. I mean, I'm waiting for a lot. Jalen Hunt has got to step up at this defensive line as to getting sacks on the quarterback, being disruptive in the backfield. They got to do more of that. They got to take this quarterback to the ground. There's no Mike Evans in this offense. They got a nice rookie receiver there. Chris Godwin is pretty much questionable. If you kind of look at the Tampa Bay side of injuries, we just talked that Mike Evans is out. Christian Izien out, DB. He's a backup DB, a versatile DB. Nothing crazy to talk about there. Chris Godwin's questionable, but probably will be playing. Logan Hall, questionable. Baker Mayfield is questionable. We know he'll be playing. Tristan Wirfs, I don't know why they have him as questionable, but you're not really fooling us because he had, I think 2 full practices. So if they lose a tackle in this game, that's going to be a big loss for them. But I would probably have to say that he's going to play in this game. So those are really your injuries for the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Philadelphia Eagles this week. What we have to really rely on defensively is we have to get pressure, and we don't know what's going to happen with Kelee Ringo. I mean, this is his first start really since in camp that he's been at this spot at the CB2 position before losing it to Adoree Jackson. I don't know what to really take much out of it. This is almost like a mini tryout for Kelee Ringo that Fangio is giving him the opportunity to really show out, because if he plays really well in this game, I think he'll be the starting cornerback after this. But, this is probably the week I really wanted Jacorian Bennett to go in there if he wasn't injured. I think Jacorian Bennett probably, I don't know if he would have even started this game. Probably would have had Ringo in there regardless, because I think Fangio favors Kelee Ringo over Jacorian Bennett, because Fangio keeps complaining about Jacorian Bennett's snaps, but they never really give him a shot at all. As much as I don't want to rely on the pressure in this game to not expose their CB2 spot, which every team down the line is looking at that position right now, that's the only one that really worries me. Edge rushers have to be smart in this game, kind of contain the outside, some smart rushes, so you're not creating those big open lanes for Baker Mayfield to just run on us for 3 yards. And that's what we really don't want in this game. I'm not really worried about this defense as much going against Tampa's offense. I think the Eagles, even at a battered position at CB2, I think will do all right. It really comes down to this offense and the play calling from Kevin Patullo, and obviously the adjustments they make going down the line of this game. Do not go back to playing your basic conservative offense and then make the changes when you're down a few touchdowns, because you're not going to escape a game like this against Todd Bowles. It's just not going to happen. I think a big part of this game too is if you're in 3rd and short, 4th and short, you run this tush push, because you want to mess up the timing of their defense on those plays and do like a silent count or something like that. This way it takes them off balance. They're all over the place, and they're going to get more frustrated down the line of that entire series. So I think the tush push is definitely going to be a big part of this game as well. This is like your last mini gauntlet of a game that you had beginning of the season. I'm not saying that the rest of the season is a breeze until later on, but this was really one of the hardest parts of your schedule. The first, obviously weeks 2 to 4, I would say, are your hardest weeks in the beginning, and the Eagles have done a good job. If they can get to 4-0, it's going to look good for them. Really good. That's going to be about it, guys. How do you feel about CB2, Keely Ryu getting the start there, and how do you think, the defense has to play? Do you have to really rely on this defensive line in this game? How do you feel about the Eagles' offense? Are you feeling a little nervous? Do you feel like Kevin Patullo is going to go back to his conservative offense, or are they going to dig themselves a hole so deep they can't get back into this game? And that's hopefully not going to happen. I hope we see more of what we got in that second half. Get everybody involved. That's what I want in this game, and hopefully that's what we're going to get. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day, and make sure you hit the like button because it helps out tremendously. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Check out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch in the description below for Super Bowl ring pre-orders until October 1st, and a lot of Jalen Hurts merch as well. You guys enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shakes well, follows, peace, guys.